So you've been seeing all these different morning routines with the clickbait thumbnails and the titles that say $1 million morning routine, and they're doing all like this bullshit with the meditation, the grounding, the sauna, the red light. And of course these things are good, but those aren't like the routines that got them to the aesthetic body that you want, or the nice house, or that dream career. The routine that got them there is a lot simpler but harder. If you're watching this video, you probably have been trying to find like that perfect routine that you need to achieve whatever you want to achieve and finally make progress in that goal. And if that sounds like you came to the right place. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make your ideal routine. And without being said, let's get into it. Section 1, morning routine. Your morning routine is the most important part of your day. It's like where most of your progress and your goals are made. It's where the world is quiet and you can just chip away at your goal. A lot of people like say it doesn't matter when you wake up. Like I've even said it in like some past videos that as long as it's a time you're comfortable with, you're good. But I've changed my mind a lot. Like when you wake up like really matters a lot. Now I'm not saying you have to be an autist and wake up at like 1 a.m., only get 2 hours of sleep in the process, be sleep deprived. But waking up around like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and like that 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. range would like put you ahead of most people, like probably like 80% of people. It's not even that, it's like some type of like hustle culture bullshit. Those hours are just peaceful and quiet because around that time, nobody is up. They're all asleep, meaning you don't have to like have as much distractions. Like your mom isn't busting in your room, your friends aren't calling you to come outside or play video games. It's just you and the work. And I feel like if you can get over that barrier of waking up super early, you'll be ahead of like 80% of the competition. So first pick an early wake up time between 3 to 5 a.m. 6 a.m. can be the max, but just try to keep your wake up time in like that 3 to 5 a.m. range. It can be earlier if you genuinely want it to be earlier, but that 3 to 5 a.m. range is like the golden spot. So you have your wake up time. So what do you do during like the routine? Meditation, cold showers, grounding, affirmations. You don't do none of that. What you do is your highest leverage task. Your highest leverage task is the most important thing that you can do to reach your goals. It gives you the most output relative to your input, meaning the more time you work on it, the more progress you're gonna make. So how do you identify your highest leverage task? You identify your highest leverage task through first identifying your goal. Now you probably have like 5 goals in mind, but my advice to you is to stick to one goal at a time because we only have like 24 hours a day. There's simply just not a lot of things we can do effectively and do consistently over that 24-hour interval. So just sticking to one goal ensures all your time and energy is focused on that one specific goal. And the more time you spend on something, the more progress you make on it. So if you're really serious about making progress in like physically, mentally, financially, you have to stick to that one goal. That one goal has to be your priority over other goals. You might want to, get an aesthetic body while reaching 10K. You just have to pick which one you want to do more. So identifying that really important goal you want to achieve, it can be an aesthetic body, a dream career, 10K a month, whatever it is. After you identify that really important goal, simply ask yourself, what is the one thing I have to do in order to achieve this goal? So let's take the aesthetic body, for example. What's the one thing you have to do to get an aesthetic body? Well, it's working out. That can be in the gym at home, it can be running, calisthenics, but working out is the highest leverage task for that goal. Because without it, how are you ever going to make progress on that goal? It's a requirement that if you want to achieve an aesthetic body, you have to work out because that's the only way to build muscle. If it's a 10K a month, it's working on your business. Now, work for your business varies depending on person to person, but overall, the act of working on an aspect of the business is the highest leverage task. Because without it, how the fuck are you even going to get 10K a month if you're not working on a business or working on something that will give you money? So whatever your goal is, ask yourself, what is the one thing I have to do in order to achieve this goal I have? Like you have to do it or you can't achieve the goal. What is that one thing? Okay, so you have your waking time, you have the highest leverage task that you're going to be doing like during the morning routine. Now you just need the execution. So the overall goal of the morning routine, the number one principle is to make it so the amount of time it takes you from opening your eyes and working on like that highest leverage task is as short as possible. So a lot of people, they have morning routine with meditation, journaling, cold showers, red light sauna, all this like self-improvement buzzwords. Now, I know like these things are good, especially meditation, journaling, cold showers, But honestly, apart from that, literally everything else is bullshit in my opinion. And people think that in order to be more productive, they need to add more of that like self-improvement bullshit to be like productive and do what they have to do. But you actually have to do the opposite if you want to be more productive. You actually have to go and take some of that out. Now, of course, meditation and cold exposure can help you wake yourself up, helps you become more productive, more alert. And if it does do that for you, by all means, go and do it. But chances are it doesn't. Therefore, you're just wasting time doing it. And that wasted time can just be transferred into doing the work, which will make you more progress in the long run. Now, literally, all you do is work until your daily goal is complete. Your daily goal can be something like script, record, and edit one video, which is my daily goal, or doing something in the business, change the product, create 3 advertisements, work out for 2 hours, run 5 miles. Just whatever your daily goal is, or like that to-do list type goal, just work until that thing is done. And during the night routine segment, I'll dive deeper into it, but just for now, keep in mind about like that daily goal, that concept of daily goals. I want to add that I have like a free one-on-one calls. If you're interested in just getting help with any problems that you have in like your path of development, it could be physically, mentally, spiritually. I can help you. I can't like help you with your financial problems, like if you want to make money or like in a business like yet. But when I get to that level, I'll get to that level. But if you're just having roadblocks in your journey to growth, you could book a one-on-one call, and the link is in the description below if you're interested. And it's free, by the way. Like, you don't have to charge anything. Section 2, afternoon routine. So your afternoon routine starts at the end around like 12 to 6 p.m., like that range. At around 12 p.m., your daily goal should be finished. Of course, since like daily goals vary, you might not finish around like 12 p.m. You might finish around 3 p.m., 4 p.m., whatever. But when you finish your daily goal and it's in like that kind of range, you can start to do like shallow work, which is like emails, meetings, little tweaks on your business, things that don't like, cost that much energy to do and aren't like that important, but they're still kind of important, and like things that you still kind of have to do. Also, during this time is also where you should do some sort of like physical activity. Or if your goal is like a physical activity like getting an aesthetic body, or you want to go D1 or something like that. If it's a physical goal and you already did physical activity in the morning, right? Because your highest level Chaz. So during this time, you can learn about your goal. You can learn new training methods or diet plans, learn about new workouts, things like that. But if your goal isn't like a physical goal, this is the time where you can go to the gym, do calisthenics, martial arts, just whatever like physical activity you want to do it in like that 12 to 6 p.m. period. Now, during this time, you would most likely have holes of free time, like during like that 12 to 6 p.m. period. And I know you worked and you focused for 7 hours, you did some shallow work, you did a workout, and you think, oh, I deserve to go and watch TV, or I can indulge in instant gratification. I deserve it. Trust me, it's not going to feel like a reward, especially when you're in a period of your life where you just want to accelerate, where you just want to, trudge through the mud and like really climb up the ladder. If you're in that period of time, if you're already successful, right? Who am I to tell you, like, you can't do this? If you already achieved the goal, if you already have 10K a month, yeah, go and do that. But if you're in a period where you're like, yo, I really want to achieve this goal, I really have to, focus, lock in, then you shouldn't really be diving into instant gratification. Because in that period of time where you're just work, it gets to a point where it's like, I'm wasting time when I can be doing something more productive rather than, watching social media, going on porn, TV, eating junk food. There's something I can do with my time that's way more important than that. And that thing was learning. It can be from books or educational videos. My personal favorite is Andrew Huberman and his type of podcast videos. And what you should be doing when you have free time or you have the urge to be lazy and just go indulge in instant gratification is just watch educational long form videos or read books. And this is very important. Don't be learning about random shit that you don't really care about. Learn about shit that actually relates to your goal. So if it's business, read books on business or watch videos on business. If it's to optimize your health, watch videos on the best diets or read books on how to increase your testosterone and health. Whatever it is, just simply start learning about that skill or skills that will reach you closer to your goal. Remember to actively listen and pay attention to the videos and books. Like, make notes while you're reading. It can be on your phone. It can be like a piece of paper. Just grab a piece of paper, write a couple of notes, things that you think would be valuable, because it shows that you're actually gaining value out of the video rather than it just going out the other ear and out the other. I don't know if I said that saying right, but you get what I'm saying. Section 3, night routine. Now, depending on when you wake up, your night routine will start earlier. If you wake up earlier, you need to go to sleep earlier, meaning your night routine has to start earlier. Usually, night routine starts around like that 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. range. In a night routine, the whole purpose of the night routine is to go and set up for your morning to be better and faster. So you have to do things like setting up your clothes, if you like go on runs in the morning, making sure your computer is charging, making a to-do list on what you have to do the next morning, things like that to make sure your morning runs smooth and efficient. Your night routine, you just do basic things. You shower, you brush your teeth, you eat. Normal, simple things, nothing like too crazy. You set up for the next day, make sure everything is where it's supposed to be, stuff like that. But remember when I said, just keep the concept of daily goals in the back of your mind. This is where it comes into play. In order to find a good daily goal, it must be a Goldilocks goal. I like to call them Goldilocks goals because A, alliteration is awesome, but B, because daily goal, like this daily goal you have, it isn't too hard or too easy. It's just at a level where you can maximize both your input and output. Now you can see why I call it Goldilocks goals, because these goals are just right for you. Your Goldilocks goal is related to time and skill. The more time you have, the harder and more work your Goldilocks goal should have. And depending on your skill level, your Goldilocks daily goals should cater to that skill level. For example, if your goal is to run a marathon and you do your morning routine of marathon training, you're running, but this is like the first time you've ever trained for a marathon. Do you think it will be smart to follow the training program of like a professional marathon runner? Of course not. Like you can take concepts from like their training, of course. But if this is like your first time ever training for something like this, there's no way you're going to be able to progress in that because it's simply not at your skill level. Or if you want to make a business, yet you've never even read a book or a business, or you haven't even started your business, should you start advertising or hiring employees? Of course not, because you're not at that level to be doing that. Instead, focus on creating the website or like the school thing or the product or like whatever you're going to sell, things like that. Focus on things that you should be focused on. So in order to find out what a good Goldilocks goal is, ask yourself, how much time do I have to work and what level am I at? Are you a beginner, intermediate, advanced, and like you get the thing. So in your night routine, you just do normal things such as go shower, brush your teeth, eat. Then you do things and set up to make your morning routine easier. And you also create a to-do list of daily goals that's not too hard, but it's not too easy that you're just breezing through it. And that's it. Now all you have to do is put your morning, afternoon, and night routine together. And it should be similar to something like this. 5 a.m. you wake up, 5:05 you work until your daily goal is finished. 12 p.m. shallow workout. 3 p.m. learn, read. 7 p.m. night routine, eat, you brush your teeth, shower, set up, plan for the next day. Then 10 p.m. you sleep. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be like that. This was just an example, but you should follow the structure and make the routine how you want. Just maintain the principles for each part of the routine, and you should have your ideal routine. It doesn't have to be time for time, right? Maybe you finish your daily goal at 3 p.m. Maybe you wake up at 3 a.m. Maybe you start your night routine at 8 a.m. Not 8 a.m., 8 p.m. But as long as you maintain the principles that I've shown you within those blocks of time, then you should be good. It should be your ideal routine. Section 4, adaptability. Having a routine is good, but a lot of people, and myself included, get too attached to this routine that even in the most minor hiccup, whether it be out of our control or in our control, we just break down and just give up on the day, and you just say we'll try tomorrow. I've been struggling with this for a long time, so trust me when I say this. It's just going to be an endless, and I mean endless, cycle, because since you're so sensitive about your routine that if it's not followed perfectly, everything just falls apart and you lose progress. I would argue that being detached from the routine is even more important than the routine itself. Being able to adapt and be ready for, frankly, things that are out of your control that can mess up the flow of your routine is important for progress. So how can you adapt and detach from like this routine? It's very easy. A Stoic practice called negative visualization. And this is like the bread and butter to detachment. Because when you visualize everything that can go wrong in your day, you realize, wow, it isn't that bad. And I know, like, we went through all of this just to make the routine, make the routine. And now I'm telling you to detach from it. But trust me, when you detach from this routine, but you still see it as important, like you still follow it, but if it's not 100%, you don't really care, right? As long as like you're following it to the best of your ability, you realize that you'll make so much more progress. Also, something to help you from detachment is focusing on improvement rather than perfection. If you follow 60% of your routine and last week you only did 40%, be happy about that because you followed your routine 20% more this week. So chase improvements, not perfection. This can help you adapt because if something happens that disturbs your routine, you won't be affected by it as much because you understand that perfection, to put it in layman's terms, is simply impossible, and improvement is what matters. More than anything is improvement over perfection. So as long as you're improving the percentage of the routine you follow, as long as the consistency at which you follow your routine on a daily basis is improving and increasing, there's nothing to be mad about. So don't ruin your day because one part of it was ruined. That would just make you feel like even more of a loser and make you feel like shit. That's all I have for today. I wish you luck in your journey, and peace.